One of the fundamental parts of my vocation story was doing a come and see weekend in Cincinnati. And I've been to a couple come and sees with other religious groups, but what really stuck out was dinner was pretty normal. Friars talked about baseball, I talked about things on television, but afterwards, everyone prays, they pick up their food, they go into the kitchen, and while they're in the kitchen, all these friars fan out and they start doing dishes, putting food away, all these things, all these domestic pieces of the kitchen. And I find out later these two friars are at the kitchen and they're laughing and joking. And it's not till later that I realize and discover who they were. One friar, a priest, been a missionary in the Philippines, PhD from Notre Dame, been teaching in their seminary, working in the missions, was coming over to take over CEO as a publishing for the publishing house. And the other friar, lay brother, was the porter of the house. The porter answers the door and the phone. And for the two of them, degrees didn't matter, priests, lay brother, that didn't matter. Their job, external job didn't matter. They were brothers. And that was what attracted me to the friars, that they were brothers to each other. So for the last 8 years, my ministry has been in education. I've been a high school teacher. So I've been in the classroom for the 8 years, teaching freshmen, juniors, seniors, and it's been absolutely wonderful to connect with students, youth in that way. And of course, it's kind of spilled out into the class, out of the classroom, different service elements, working with them on that, chaplaincy to sports teams. And the youth, it's so vibrant. You have to stay on your toes when you're around kids, and it's absolutely wonderful. I have a lot of hope for the church after interacting with youth in the last 8 years. Probably one of the most important parts of my life is the relational piece. So to get to know someone, that element of fraternity is a very central part of who I am. The other part I would say is I want to dive deeper and deeper into my surrender with Jesus Christ. And that comes in numerous ways. The friars help me to surrender more every day. And which is a beautiful thing, is that we can do it together. So prior to entering the friars, I was a firefighter. As I look back in my own life, I think about the fraternal element that happened at the firehouse and realize perhaps maybe that was part of that vocational journey. The challenges of our culture we all can probably identify. So how do we as friars not fall victim to that culture in the sense of just becoming part of it, but how do we walk beside the culture? I think that's the fundamental part. Francis, from the very beginning, he left the walls and he went and he worked with the outcasts, the lepers. We all know those great stories. But I think that's the invitation for us as friars, is how do we walk with people in the midst of the culture, inviting them into something beautiful, into something good, because it's out there. So to be with the culture, not against, not above, but actually in service to it. Peace externally, that's one thing. It has to start here. And that really speaks to me, is that the importance of being a peacemaker starts with peace in our own hearts. So being absent of judgment, absent of this need to be competitive, I think that's a fundamental piece of a gift that we can give to the church, to the people of God, is to be peacemakers in our communities, in our families, in the world.